All right. I guess I need to start over. Is that about right?
Yeah, it's all good. But just so you guys know, those guys who are new on here, who has been on for a little bit, obviously this man here, he's pretty much epitome of what we want to be when we are growing to be those people, those leaders that we want to be. And everything we have ever learned is from this man right here. So take these words that he's going to say right now to us in this next handful of minutes to heart, because this is the guy with the vision. This is the guy that we follow. It's the guy that we love, that we trust. And yeah, and we'll see him on Saturday if you're going to be at the Christmas party. So
yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Terry, we lost you.
Lost him again.
The deal. You got me now or not?
Yes,
we got you now.
Yeah. All right, let's try this over here. I'm going to change space in the room. Okay. We okay? Okay. Dang, man, that's rugged. So anyway, been at this for about 10 years. Vacation, tax deductions. That's why I got in. Gave it 4 hours a week when I started. Didn't see it real big. That was not my thing. I saw we could do a couple of things, those two things, and I started sharing it with some people. Like I said, not real big, not real fast. Over about 4 or 5 months, more people started jumping in, and then I decided to give it more time. And about a year into this, I decided to get good at this. And then I left my job about a year into this and did this full time. I'm not suggesting you do that. I'm just saying I did that because of my background and things like that, meaning I've done things like this before, not well. I mean, didn't have any success, but I saw something. I saw something. And it's one of those things, probably even in your life. As I was looking at this, assessing what I would call counting the cost. If you don't know, I'm a pastor, so a lot of my stuff comes from the Bible. And in there's a couple of passages talking about kings going to war. A king doesn't go to war until he counts the cost. He starts looking at his military and comparing it to the other military. Do I have a shot at this? Nobody starts building a mansion, they're building a building or whatever without first counting the cost. What's it going to take to do this? And do I have the money? And so I was counting the cost. The first 30 days before I said yes, I'm asking myself, am I ready to do this again? Because when I did it before, it didn't work well at all. I mean, not at all. So, hang on, guys. Dang. Struggling over here. Wow. So, as I waded into it, I'm asking myself, man, can this work? And once I made the decision that, yes, it could work, rugged. Wow. Once I made the decision that it could work, I then decided to do it. And one thing I mentioned last night, a couple of the people on here know this. Once I decided to pay the price, I never negotiated the price again. I just decided to pay it. And I think a lot of people, that's where it's why they stay stuck in their lives and in businesses like this, but anywhere. You're not willing to do what it takes to grow, to get to the next level in life. Many people, probably all y'all on here, would like to make more money. Almost everybody in the world would like to make more money. Most people just want to keep living the life they live today and make more money doing that because that doesn't require any changes. But that's not what success looks like. Here, you got to grow. You got to come in. You got to grow as a leader, and that's what it takes. And you got some great people in front of you that are leading the way, showing you how to do that. They're growing as leaders and modeling what that looks like. I look at people, these guys I'm with tomorrow. I mean, I'm going to be hanging out with the people that I'm with tomorrow. The net worth of the people I'm with is well over $1 billion for sure. Probably probably around 1.2 billion
Wow.
tomorrow. Now listen, when I jumped into this, none of that was a thought in my head. None of it. Save some money on a trip, write it off. Here I am 10 years later, and because I saw something, I decided to grow into the leadership. 3 years into this, I was almost an RMD, and I picked up the phone, calling my upline saying, bro, I quit. I'm out. This is not going to work. 3 years into it. So some of you guys have probably had the thought of quitting. Congratulations. We all have. Every IMD has thought about it. That's not the issue. The issue is, what are you going to do after you have that thought? And so because I just had a sense that there was more. For me, I spent 30 days praying on this, asking, man, God, do you want me to do this? That was a big thing for me. And once I got the confirmation as a yes, then I knew it was all systems go. About a year into this, I realized that this one endeavor of World Ventures fulfills my purpose in life, why I'm on the planet, literally why God has me here. And that day, a year into this, it stopped being what I did and became who I am. Now listen, if you're relatively new in this, or wherever you are in your growth, your maturation, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that you decide to continue to grow yourself. As you grow here, as you get around the leadership, the trainings, and all the stuff that we do here, the audios, and you start to live those things out and apply them to your life, man, your relationships will get better. When you get married, you will be a better spouse. You will be a better son, daughter, parent. All those things will make you better at all of that. And that's what I started to see along the way. And as those things went ahead, and I struggled just like you did, man. This isn't working. Oh my gosh, this is finally working. Oh, it's not working again. Is this ever going to work? Am I ever going to get to where I want to be? And continuing to overcome self-limiting beliefs. That's what it's all about. For me, it was making $100,000 a year in network marketing. I mean, that was like nirvana, man. If I could make 100,000, whoa, man, that's the deal. And after I got there, I heard Dave Watson, a guy upline from us, say, if you haven't made $25,000 a month in network marketing, you're not even a professional. And I'm like, oh God, I just got to 100,000 and now I got to get to 25,000 a month. And so there were these things, and you guys were financial thermostats. You have a financial thermostat in your life. You have it. You don't know it, but you have it. Meaning you are comfortable at X income, whatever X is. And for you to get to Y income, you're going to have to grow. You're going to have to deal with some beliefs, some attitudes that were modeled for you by your parents, that were told to you in your upbringing, that your friends have. If you take a look around, 5, 10, the people you hang out with, your income, your socioeconomic level, you're on average, you're just like those 5 or 10 people. You're making about that kind of money. You're living about that kind of life. And it's like all of us. And then when we decide to change our station in life, meaning I want more out of life, and some of you guys on here are young, most of you young, and if it's cool just hanging out with your friends and doing things like that, at night and just, kind of hanging, and then all of a sudden you decide to do something different with your life and you no longer hang out with them, you're off trying to build your life, a different life. They start to, they kind of despise that. And they're surprised by the fact that you don't want to hang out with them anymore. So what they'll tend to do is take you down. They'll start maybe coming at you, trying to discourage you from what you're trying to do. Hey man, who do you think you are? And all these things will come up because you're trying to change your life. And what happens is when we decide to change, we challenge our friends. It's not like a formal challenge, but we challenge their thinking. And if they're not ready to change, they're going to try to keep you where they're at. Some of you may be experiencing this already. And you just got to know, man, it's a thing that humans do. I've been watching it for 46 years. in this business, in this industry. 46 years I've been watching people go to their friends shoot them down, but it's not just that. It's like they got to take them out with them. You know, they can't, a lot of them just can't say no. They got to pull you back down so that you don't be, they're okay with you succeeding, just not more successful than them. So you got to watch out who you hang out with. You got to protect your mindset. And at the end of the day, what we're leaving, we're not changing our friends necessarily. We're changing the mindset. We're going to go get around a different mindset that supports the greater success we want to have in our life. And typically, it's not the people you've been hanging out with at whatever level you're at. So I'm not sure why I went there tonight. Hopefully, one or some of you need to hear that and can take that in tonight and hear it and apply it to your life and the situation that you might have. I look at my life now 10 years later, and being here at corporate, doing what we're doing tomorrow is it's for sure a thing that God has been orchestrating, not just for 10 years, but for 40 years, literally 40 years, more specifically about 25 years as an adult, you know, as like a real adult kind of thing. And that's been being orchestrated for a long time. And there are three things you need to believe in here. You need to believe in the company that you're with. Got to believe in the company. And that's a thing that everybody has different thoughts on, the industry, the company. You got to believe in that. We're 14 years in. Tomorrow's our 14-year anniversary. And so we've been around. Yeah. As a matter of fact, it's my 4-year anniversary. We hit IMD 4 years ago tomorrow. So it's pretty cool that we're all at corporate. I'm pretty stoked about it. And again, man, I'm not orchestrating that, man. That's God doing that. Pretty cool. But you got to believe in the company. You got to believe in yourself. Then and a lot of you, maybe you believe in yourself. You have confidence in yourself in other areas in life. And you have there's a self-confidence, not an arrogance, but I can do it. I have abilities. And you got to believe in you. Then you got to believe in you in this. And that, candidly, is where most people struggle, because the way to do this is different than what you think. So you got to learn some new skill sets, not a ton of them. It's like 5 things. And if you'll just get halfway good at 5 things, you can crush it here. You can absolutely crush it. But you got to get good or halfway good at 5 things. If you're really good at inviting and closing, that will take care of most of it. Those 2 things right there. So 10 years down the road, things have gotten way different than I ever saw them. I just never pictured it back in the day. Heck, I couldn't even picture hitting RMD. I could not. That's why I set my goal for marketing director, because I could not believe that I could hit regional marketing director. So I had to grow into that. Once I got to regional, then I could see IMD. But until then, I couldn't even see RMD. So I just want to encourage you guys, wherever you're at, whatever your journey's been so far, it's what it is. But it doesn't have any bearing on what's going to happen tomorrow. You can take, if you look at your past as failure, maybe you're not as successful as you'd hoped to be coming into this, you can always take your past and reframe it to look at it as preparation. And ultimately, that's what I did. And when I was able to let go of the failure, or at least reframe it as God had just prepared me for this, man, all kinds of weight, all kinds of bad voices left my head at that point, because it freed me up to step into my future instead of allowing my past to keep me captive. And so I want to encourage you guys, particularly, man, you're young. You guys are all young on here, man. You got your whole lives ahead of you. I didn't get to see this until I was 46. And here I am, we're IMD at 56. I don't have a ton of time left. I don't have a ton of time left to make a difference. You guys got your whole lives ahead of you. And that can be a great thing. It can also be a thing that holds you back because you think you just got a lot of time. But I'm telling you, man, if you will do the work right now, but 2020 is going to be a ridiculously good year for us. Particularly, it'll be a great year for World Ventures. It's going to be life-changing for our team, you guys that are on our team. And Lorenzo and Kay and Nick know what I'm talking about because they heard what was going on before it happened. And then they all saw the confirmation. And I told them what was going to happen with our team. Hey, what's up, mama? Party mama. There's the party mama. And so what they got to see in terms of confirmation is all pointing to growth for next year. And next year, I'm telling you, man, the work we do today, right now, and the work you do coming out of the first of the year, there are some of you on here next year, marketing director, potentially RMDs, and have total freedom in your life because you won't have to work it. When we're young, we don't need a ton of money for freedom. And so you can have your freedom. You can buy it with 1 year worth of just all out massive action, man. And next year is that year. And so here we are going into corporate 14-year anniversary. If you guys didn't hear this, specifically, we are here to go pray all afternoon tomorrow and tomorrow evening. We're doing it at the corporate office tomorrow. And I don't know if you guys subscribe to this or not, but I'm just telling you, we're going to pray in offices, around the building, over people. We're praying for God's revealing anything that needs to be confessed, anything that needs to be let go, and for God to release and open up the floodgates in our business and World Ventures as a whole. If there are still things that we need to deal with, we're gonna get into a lot of stuff tomorrow. And then we're going to break some bread at Wayne Nugent's house tomorrow night. And it's just a pretty surreal position to be in. But the takeaway, and I'll try to wrap it up with this, is that I didn't seek this kind of involvement. I didn't seek that out. I sought to go help people. I sought to go help some people change their lives, get some things they wanted in their life. And if you guys will just stay focused on that, man, get the focus off of yourself and onto who can I help? Who can I help go make their life different? And so my invites never had any tension in them, ever. Because I knew when I invited someone, when I was going to go show them the deal, I knew that when they got in, I was going to go help them. I knew it. So I had full confidence when I was inviting them that their life was going to benefit because they were going to hang out with me and I was going to go help them make their life different. Now, you might not have that confidence in yourself yet, but if you just stay around the trainings, get yourself to momentum, get yourself on the ignition. If you're not listening to those audios, there's some great audios in there, man. All those things matter. They matter. I've been listening to audios like that for decades. So there's a lot of, because we all have a lot of negative thoughts in our heads, man. Even if, I had really, 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 really positive parents. Really positive parents, and I dealt with it. And I just think to myself, man, people who have negative parents, they just got a long way to go and don't know it. Whew, man, it's heartbreaking. So if you just keep doing the right things, humble thyself before the Lord, and in due season, he will lift you up. And for me, it was always about who can I help? Who's next? Who can I help next get whatever they want out of life? And you find the people. So I can keep going on and on, Lorenzo and Kay, or I can just stop, answer some questions if anybody's got them. If you want me to cover anything specifically, I'm happy to do that too.
I just want to say that we appreciate you, Tere, for everything that you do for us and our team and Team Unstoppable. And obviously, when you're talking about the, you don't have a lot of time left, and we see that. And one of the biggest things that we stand for is our youth. And I believe that we speak for everybody that's on this call that's a part of the younger generation, that our youthful years aren't going to be in vain. because we have the right leadership. We have the great leadership of you, people before us, with Dr. Peach and everything like that. So more so with not so much the Dream Giver card, but yeah, that's working pretty good too. But the ignition, more so focusing on that. You know, we've upgraded and stuff, and kind of telling them how important it is, not just the audios, but, you know, as far as business wise, if they're planning and wanting to have more growth in their business and hitting those goals, how important that is for until the end of the year, especially. So
yeah, and it's important on the goals. You know, you always, to me, you got to be setting short-term goals. I mean, when I say short-term, so I know we have about 2 weeks until Christmas. So I want my calendar jammed up until about the 22nd. I know things are going to shut down. 22nd, 23rd, things are going to be shutting down for people, meaning people, they're not up for getting together so much. So what I'll do, I spend the holiday season getting with my leaders and things like that, goal setting, casting vision, recalculating, things like that. So I'm setting goals for, okay, what can I get done between now and the 23rd? So up until the 22nd of December, what can I get done? And then out of that, then I want to look at momentum. Okay, between then and momentum, what can I get done? And if you break it into bite-sized chunks, man, this goes way, way better. Just way better than I'm going to be an RMD at the View. That's a great goal until you start breaking down what that takes, you know, and when you start breaking it down to daily, it's like, oh snap, I'm late. So you gotta have a plan. Every time you set a goal, you gotta have a plan and a date, or all you got is a wish. And so I'm happy to be involved in those things. One of the reasons I wanted to get on the Zooms with the various directors was because I want to be more involved in the teams. I want to be touching more people more often. And what I mean by touching is this right here. And you know, I'll just say it this way. I don't want it to come out wrong, but I want you to understand, okay? All of you on here, you're part of my team, all right? I've never had a rank requirement for me to answer a phone call from somebody on my team, okay? That is not the deal. You are part of my family. And just by being part of my family, you get access to me. And I'm not saying I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I'm one of 43 knighted trainers in the world, one of 20 PAC team members, and one of 9 people that are going to be here praying for our company with the CEO, CFO, and president of our company. My point is, you have direct access to the rank, okay? And I'm going to say that in humility, but use that to your advantage, man, that you get direct access. And if you meet somebody and they need some more validation, man, fire me a text. Hey, TK, can I get you on a phone call, a 3-way call with somebody, man? Use me for that stuff. I'm open to that. So I just want to help and help as many people as I can. So got a great season, the Dream Giver card. And the last thing I'll say, now you guys know it's not always the last thing.
We're glad.
I think the last thing I'll say is this. Your generation, you 20-somethings, when you guys get this thing figured out over the next year, now we've got some apps, right? We've got the preview app, the Dream Giver card. We've got the Rank Up app. We've got Dream Trips. We've got the back office. We've got all kinds of different things, man. Then you got multiple websites. Good Lord. You got all kinds of Facebook pages and social media pages you got to be part of. There's a lot of stuff. Candidly, it's too much. I'm working right now. One of the meetings I got tomorrow at corporate before we get to what we're doing in the afternoon is to sit down and talk about what progress is being made on simplifying that, how we can help the new reps start their journey better. Anyway, point is this. we've implemented all these tools, but they're not cohesive yet. You guys, young people, you guys have an easier time figuring it all out than people my age. And what's going to happen over the next 6 months is we're going to dial all that into like 1 or 2 apps. And over the next 6 to 12 months, the apps, we're going to figure out how to utilize the Dream Giver card with the Rank Up app, and then our social media, our pictures, being on vacation, all that stuff, attracting people. And over the next year, we need to get a handful or 2 of young people, just like yourselves, ranking to get to like marketing director and above. And when that starts happening, even RMDs, because when that starts happening and your generation begins to realize, when you've got critical mass of enough people that are making money right from the palm of their hand, this phone that I got in my hand, probably you got in your hand, when your generation figures out that they can live their life, the life they want to live, which is experience life, have a great time, and somehow get paid for that, they're going to be able to do that right through their phone. All the tools they're going to need are going to be through 1 or 2 apps. And those 2 apps will get viral because they're going to figure out they can make money doing this. And by next Christmas, man, we're going to be flying so fast. We're going to have other companies, other people from other companies coming our direction, bringing teams our direction. And your generation specifically is going to begin to crush this. You're going to have people coming in from all over the world because they're going to see it right in the palm of their hand. The evidence is going to be overwhelming at that point. So pretty stoked about 2020, if you can't tell. And as I mentioned at the beginning with, yeah, I know. God's already shown me all this is going to happen, all of it. And we're going to have a big year. So you guys I know it's cliche, right place, right time. Truly, you are, because we're not just a startup. We got a supposed competitor right now that's trying to take a bunch of people from us. And they've been growing fast, no doubt, because they've been taking a bunch of people from us. But check it. They've already missed a weekly payment to their field. They could not pay their field. And they're growing like crazy right now. What does that tell you? I mean, and they're already considering, I understand, they're already considering getting out of travel. So whatever, man. People can look at this all day long and think they can do it. We've been around 14 years. We've been through the wars. We've been through the battles, man. We've had all the social media crap. We've had governments shut us down in countries and then start back up. We've had leaders that have lost tens of thousands of people because the government in their country said it was a pyramid scheme. And then they came back and fought back. We got it really easy right now. Really easy. Got so many great tools and great leaders. So excited about it. Glad to have you guys with us. And now I am going to shut up, and I can hang out here, or you guys can do what you do, or I can jump off. Either way. Or I can answer questions.
There has to be one last thing.
Yeah, buddy. One last thing. Y'all are champions, man. Y'all are champions. And it becomes learning how to step into the greatness that is already inside of you.
Amen.
Yes.
That's the deal. That's the deal. Without becoming arrogant about it, without becoming egotistical about it, but to do it humbly, but with full confidence that God's got purposes for you guys, man.
Amen.
Hey, Terry, has it ever happened to you where you land so many exposures, whether it be through Zoom, and then all of a sudden like, everyone just cancels, and then you just touch base with them, they fall up, they just fall off the face of the earth, and then another set of people come, and then it's just like, what do you do to get out of that?
Well, I mean, right now I put a gal in. I mean, look, okay, check it. Okay. I'm an IMD, right? Remember all that stuff? Knighted trainer, PAC team member, all that stuff. And 2 weeks ago, I had a dog humping my leg during a presentation. It was awesome. I'm showing the dog my ring. Don't you know who I am? And he didn't care. And, you know, I spent an extra night doing that, and it was in a rental car and all those things, spent a bunch of money, and nothing happened out of that. Nothing, except I almost got lucky. But but with that, I just reached out to a gal. We were in Vegas. We sponsored. Listen, man, we've been there 2.5 months. Well, no, we've been there for 5-6 months now. We've been there, but we hadn't been showing plans. We hadn't been connecting with people because we were kind of settling in, and we were gone for like 4.5 of the first 8 weeks we were there. We were gone. So it's been like 3 to 4 months that we've really kind of been settled there. Man, three months. We've personally sponsored now 10 people. All right. Personally sponsored 10 in 3 months in a town we don't know anybody. And of those 10, 3 of them have quit. Whatever. Is that my fault? I guarantee it's not my fault because I'm calling them trying to help them. I have another one who's in, wouldn't call me back for a month. And I'm like, what the heck? And she was in before. She was a welcome back. And she just went dark. I'm like, I had to send the "Have I offended you?" text. I mean, this is somebody who's in, man. This is somebody who was in before. This is somebody who knows where we're at and things like that. And they weren't calling me back. One of the other guys, I put him in. He never got a membership. He just got the product. He's got 20 people on his team. He won't return my call. Whatever. We're going to go sponsor somebody else on Friday night when I get back. I don't care. I don't got time to give it mental energy. In the early days, listen, man, when I jumped in, I didn't go real fast in the beginning, but over like 3 or 4 months, some things started to pick up, and I was doing weekly meetings at my house, and we had, I don't know, 20, let's just like, I got in November 16th was my actual enrollment date. I consider January 3rd my start date, my real start date, when I started and never stopped again. And it was like January, February. We were in late February. So December, January, February, it's 3 months in. And, we had some people were starting to jump in and from church and things like that. And we were picking up speed. And I was doing weekly meetings at my house. And one night, the Tuesday night meeting that we did, no one showed up. I mean, no one showed up. No reps, no guests, nothing. So you know what I did? I got on my phone and I booked another meeting to go show someone else. It's just an attitude, gang. Listen, it goes back to those things. Back to where I started. You've got friends in your life and they aren't ready to change their life. Don't let that make you not change your life. Do not let their self-limiting beliefs control your destiny. Don't do that, people. They're not about it. Let them not be about it. For me, it was always this. When somebody said no, my thought was, one of us is going to be right 12 months from now. I always made sure I was the one that was right. Because if you give up because they don't have the freaking guts to even call you back, don't let that be you, man. Was that a little too strong? Okay.
No, that was perfect. And I'm sure a lot of you guys
got out of yellow and meant to red there.
And I'm sure a lot of you guys have the same exact question, same exact difficult obstacle that you want to overcome. And this is exactly what you have to do. It's all mental discipline.
100%, man. The other thing, look, you can make sales online, meaning on Zoom, you can make sales. People can sign up. If you're using social media, Instagram, Facebook, you can make sales, okay? You will never build teams on social media, though. You won't build teams doing this right here. You build teams face-to-face. God wired us to be involved in other people's lives. And that is how we build people. That's how we build teams. So you can make sales. That's cool. But you've got to be face-to-face to build the teams. And here, personally sponsoring is not what makes you money. What makes you money is building teams.
With that note, Terry, we do have Margarita. She's already coming with us to Momentum, and she just moved to Canada, Vancouver, Canada. So you're saying for us to go out to Canada and because she, we've tried this whole Zoom thing, like you're saying, and it's really not working. You can't build a team out there like this. Like, you really have to have the relationship. And that's what we were thinking. It's like, she wants us to come out February, March. because her family already knows about us. She talks about us all the time. And she trusts me with her whole life, her whole bank account, her everything. And so, so what do you think we should do? Is just go out there?
Well, I think for sure you need to plan to get there.
Yeah.
Number two, we could potentially get her connected. I think Travis Just's team up there is still in good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, we reached out to MDJR and we told him about it. He's willing to help out.
Well, just that they could, your peeps could get to their meetings or something, you know, but still at the end of the day, look, man, when I first got started, I put somebody in North Carolina. I went to North Carolina to help them. I put someone in Phoenix. I went to Phoenix to help them. All right. Now, the guy in Phoenix never did a dang thing, but I went there a couple of 3 times to help him. The guy in North Carolina got started. He hung around for about 8 years, and you know, we had some success there. But my point is, when I put somebody in out of town, again, I help the people I sponsor, regardless of where they are. So I think you should plan to get up there. Vancouver's beautiful. February is a crappy time to be there. But hey, if you're not living there, it's okay. You won't get all depressed and want to kill yourself. It's only the people who live up there.
Oh, it looks like we're going to Canada.
We are.
I said we, yes.
All right.
All right. Do you guys have any other questions? Just know this is not just us. This is very interactive. I mean, take advantage of the time that Terry is giving us right now. If you guys have any questions, if you feel stuck, this is family. Don't feel uncomfortable. Don't feel like, oh, I'm going to ask the wrong question. There's no wrong question.
Hey Terry, when you when you have somebody sign up and you want success more for them than they want it for yourself, what advice do you have for somebody like that? They're going through that?
Oh, well, the answer to that question is you got to build this with your head and not with your heart. And businesses like ours attract people that have big hearts that like to help people. And so it's hard. That's a hard thing for a lot of people. But as we talked about this last night, right? The people are telling us who they are all the time. We just got to believe them. And I technically, I would say in my world, I've always wanted it more for other people than they've wanted it for themselves. Hands down. Now, over time, it might switch. They may start to want it more for themselves than I want it for them. So I can see it for them. I can see the path. I know how to do it just like you. And I mean, when I had the guy quit, I'm not making this up, you guys. This guy had been in for, I don't know, 3 years. He was the first guy on my right team, very first guy. He had at that time about 300 people under him. Must have had more than that because it was 3 years I was RMD. He must have had about 500 people under him. And his fees were waived. And at that time, you paid zero. When your fees were waived, you didn't pay anything. And he called corporate to cancel. With 500 people, at least, could have been more. And his fees waived, paying nothing, demanded that corporate cancel him. And they said, I'm sorry, sir, we cannot cancel you. We can't. We're not billing you. So we can't not bill you because we're now not billing you right now. And so he demanded, and they finally suspended him. That was the way. And it was like, what are you smoking, idiot? And when he did that, you guys, I was just like, man, people, they got other things going on. Now later, listen, here's the thing. Later, I found out that guy was a pathological liar. I mean, he destroyed all kinds of lives. Thank God he was gone by that time, because it could have done bad damage to my business had he stuck around. The gal that I talked about who's not calling me back or wasn't calling me back that I put in, that I told you guys, turns out she had 2 deaths, very close relatives died, and she lost her job, and she totaled her car in a month. And she was just overrun with life. And so had I jumped in there and started bashing on her, not knowing any of that, you know, she wouldn't be having her nephew come to a meeting I'm doing on Wednesday night in Phoenix. So you just got to love people where they're at. But to your point, Nick, that doesn't mean I want to help. I always want to help. I want to invite them to continue on, but I don't wait for them. And that's the big key. You cannot wait for people. Move on, man. Let them see your taillights. Let them see your success, and they'll come along, or they won't.
Gotcha.
Awesome. One thing I just wanted to mention, guys, for everyone that's on here, that's on our team, that we do this as a team, and you guys know for a fact, and through all the tribulation, through the time that we've been involved with this, us as the leaders in the area here for you guys, we're going to be that steady rock that David Peach talks about. Like, we're going to be doing this, and whenever you guys want to do this, we're going to bring you in and hone you in as a family, treat you as if like you've never left, because you guys can do this whenever you guys want, but we're going to do this each and every single day, week in, week out, year on. So yep, that's that steady rock mentality, us owning our business. So for those of you guys who aren't wanting to put in more commitment as time goes on, you guys know that, have assurance in us that we can help you when you do give that time to us, so we can maximize it.
Yep. My mantra: love them and lead them. I love everybody. I lead the ones that are ready to be led. Very important. Love everybody wherever they're at. It is okay. And cool thing about a business like this, you can start anytime. Anytime. And you guys have watched it, because I do it right in front of everybody. You know, I go out and I keep sponsoring. Mary and I keep sponsoring, and we show people we lead from the front all the time. And it allows people to, when I first got started, this will be the last thing, but when I first got started, I knew this. I was the first guy in the Bay Area, and I knew that my belief had to be strong enough that everybody else could run on my belief until they had their own. And I knew that was part of that counting the cost thing. Like, man, I got to do every presentation. I got to train every person. I got to set up every meeting, every event, all the trainings. I had to do it all, because Mary wasn't on board at that time. And that's why I was like 30 days, like, man, am I ready to do that? Because it was a big commitment.
Terry, I got a question for you.
Yo, bro.
If you could just, pretty much put one word into fruition, or just pretty much explain your journey and exemplify, just one word that can just pretty much touch base on the whole, journey that you've been on, what would you say it would be?
Consistency. Number one. Look, guys, the amount of time you put in every week is not as important as putting time in every week. It might sound like double talk, but what I'm saying is, if you decide to give this 2 hours a week, great. Just don't stop giving it 2 hours a week, ever. If you decide to give it 20, give it 20. But wherever you are, man, just don't stop the process. The consistency is the most important thing. And here's why. Because when you are in and out, and this is why Lorenzo's saying what he's saying, if you're in and out of your commitment, your consistent effort, the people that you are trying to lead won't trust you, because they don't know whether you're going to be around next week. And that is what kills your momentum, because your team starts shutting down. So consistency is the number one thing over time.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Doing the right things over and over. I get somebody started, I celebrate with the "you should be here" sign in the picture, but in my mind, it's time to go to work.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes. Awesome.
Whew, that's a lot.
Golden nuggets from the United Trainer, international marketer Tere, who is and going to be training on the stage in Italy. Big event called Momentum, which is going to in Arizona, man. It's, don't take these words for granted, because I mean, even though he's our leader, he's our prophet in our land, but you know, every single time we hear this man speak, I don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
So
We have access to him if we need him.
Yes,
So
sir.
don't.
For real, man.
Hey,
For real.
didn't Tony and Dana say that Terry's the only IMD in California?
Yeah.
So hey, it just speaks how highly he is in this company, man.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Not saying anything, but in the last 10 years, west of Colorado, I'm the only IMD that's popped.
Hey now.
Just saying. So that means there's room for a lot more because dadgummit, California's got the second highest population. Come on.
You ready?
But that means we got a bunch of comfortable people because a lot of people live in comfort out there. So, but here's the thing, man. They follow big vision and leadership. Strong leadership and big vision. People will follow. I don't care how much money they make. You know where you're going, and you're passionate and committed and convicted to get there. People will follow you guys. Don't care about your age. That doesn't matter. Paul said it to Timothy. It's not about your age, man. You go lead, brother. So, right on. All right. Well, thanks for letting me jump on tonight, you guys. I appreciate that. Appreciate talking to all y'all.
Thanks.
And
Thank you so much.
you bet.
Thanks,
You bet.
TK.
All right,
champions. God bless you guys.
Thank you guys.
Love you. Safe travels.
Love you guys. All right. We'll see you Saturday.
Yes.
Yes.
Boom. Let's go.
All right. Catch you later.
All right.